Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another installment of Scott's Tennis Selections here on Sunday, May 26th. Before we get into the main event, we will recap what happened over the last couple of days. We did not have a play of the day in tennis yesterday. It's unfortunate because both the games that were on the board I actually had a lean on, and those ended up winning. But that's irrelevant as I did not provide them for you, so it doesn't count for anything. But the last play that we did cash a very nice winner on the over 2.5 sets between Henry Laaksonen and Mikael Ymer in qualifying at plus 150. So that was definitely a nice plus win. But that was the appetizer. Now it's time for the main event as the French Open at Roland Garros officially begins today on Sunday, and it begins in roughly 5 hours or so. So we thought that, it would just be a smart idea to start giving out these type of plays. So instead of one play of the day, I'll be potentially giving out multiple if I see value on some given matches. So look for more plays and more leans coming forward. If any of you have a specific matchup you want me to cover, I'll gladly look into it and I'll give you my feedback on it. But in terms of that, I've already looked through the entire card and I see 2 spots where I find value. So I will be talking about them now. Also to mention, if you want a full bracket breakdown, I will actually be uploading that next. When I say full, I'll start at roughly the round of 16 or the round of 8, and I'll briefly cover what I think is going to happen in the earlier rounds. But I don't want that video to get too long, so I'll try to make it as relatively short as possible. But with that being said, time to dive into the first tennis match we'll cover in the French Open, and that is actually going to be between Popyrin and Humbert, as that match should be taking place at roughly 5 a.m. Now, just a quick summary of both players here. Popyrin is a very tall and very young Australian guy who has struggled recently on the clay surface. He has lost 3 of his last 4. Lost in 3 sets to Souza. He beat Gombas in 3 sets. Lost to Benchetrit in straight sets. And he lost to Steven Diaz in 3 sets. And overall, Humbert is a French guy, so he will be having a very nice home court advantage at Roland Garros. And he also has lost 3 of 4 on clay. He's actually lost 4 or 5, but he's gone up against a lot harder competition. He's gone up against Rublev and Daniel and Carbelos Baena. He did beat Cameron Norrie in straight sets, and he lost a very tough 3-set match to Shapovalov. And overall, he is French, so he does have the home court advantage here. This line to me doesn't make any sense. If you look at the money line, no spread attached. Humbert is actually a minus 111 favorite at Pinnacle, and I don't think that makes any sense. He actually opened up as an underdog, and money has come in on Humbert. Shop around anywhere from minus 111 to minus 125 at Bovada or Bookmaker. But Humbert is ranked significantly higher than Popyrin is, and I think it's for good reason. If you look at their actual rankings here, you will see that Popyrin is 109th, Humbert is 61st, and the match is going to be in Humbert's backyard in France. So I think there is value there. I expect this match to be a sweat, and it definitely will not do you any favors or your blood pressure, as this probably should go at least 4 or 5 sets. But at the end of the day, I think Humbert will be able to get enough of a push from the home crowd, and I think Humbert is the better all-around player than Popyrin. Popyrin's a good server. Humbert's no slouch as a server either, and he just took Shapovalov to 3 sets and potentially could have won that in a second-set tiebreak. So I think he is in better form, and I would personally lean to Humbert there. So my first play of the day for the French Open will be on a hometown kid in Humbert at minus 111 at Pinnacle on the money line. Now, for the second play of the day, we are going to be looking to a match that should be starting at 6:15. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes after the first match that's going to be taking place, and is going to be between Marterer and Tsitsipas. And in this matchup here, Tsitsipas is a huge favorite, rightfully so. As I look at the line on 5 dimes, he's a minus 3,550 money line. And if you look at the total amount of games, the over-under for Tsitsipas is at 18.5 with heavy juice to the over, which makes me, and the over-under is at 29. So that means automatically that they expect Tsitsipas to win in straight sets, because it's pretty much impossible for you to end up getting an under 29 if it goes to 3 sets. So, I mean, if it's impossible to almost get an under 29 if it goes to 4 sets. So based on that, I expect Tsitsipas to roll here. If you look at Martera in his last couple of matches, I like Martera as a player. Very young German guy, ranked 110th in the world, except he has had issues on clay. He's lost 3 straight clay matches. He lost to Ott as he retired in that one in late April. Then he played again against Londero, lost in 3 sets. And then he retired going into third set against Bonadio. So Martera's retired in 2 of his last 3 matches, and he's going up against Tsitsipas here, who lost to Djokovic in the final at Madrid, and then he lost to Nadal in Rome in the final there. So he's made back-to-back finals before losing to Djokovic and Nadal on clay. I expect Tsitsipas to roll here. Martera has talent, but on clay he struggled, and he's also struggled with his health as he has retired in 2 of his last 3 matches. So I personally think that Tsitsipas is going to roll here. The fact that I said that the line here for Tsitsipas games is at 18.5 with juice to the over minus 135, I find very fascinating because Bovada has a set wagering system as well as a game wagering system, and they have Tsitsipas winning in straight sets available at minus 125. And for me, I personally think that Tsitsipas is going to dominate here. And it's actually, I don't know if it's a mistake here, but if you look at Bovada, they also have match props. Tsitsipas winning in straight sets at on their props is minus 305. But for the full game wagering here, wait, is that actually correct, or did they lie to me here? Apparently, actually, this is that was accidentally for the first set. So Bovada actually just lied to me there. Tsitsipas is at minus 2.5 at minus 260. So that, never mind on that one. I feel like I just wasted everybody's time on that. If you ask me where I'm leaning in that game, though, I would lean to the under 29. But when it says set wagering, apparently Bovada was being misleading. And I personally would actually lean to the under in that game for Tsitsipas and Martera. Am I going to bet that? No. So change of plans here. There's only going to be one play of the day. It's going to be on the Humbert match, as I personally thought that there was a huge mistake on Bovada, which had the set wagering of minus 2.5 sets at minus 120, but that is not the case. So my bad on that one. But overall, the main play of the day will be on Humbert, money line at minus 111 on Pinnacle, and that is going to be it for the play of the day. So forget everything I said about the Tsitsipas match. That is not a play of the day. That is just a mistake by me. I misread what was going on there. But I do like the under 29 there. I think that Tsitsipas is going to kill him, and I would not be surprised to see Martera retire at some point in the match if things do not go his way early. In terms of other matches, I will quickly go through the rest of the card. Not too in depth though, because there's a ton of matches to get to. I don't want this video to take 15 to 20 minutes. So if you want to know my other thoughts, I lean to the over in the Vesely and Leonardo Meyer match. They've played 6 times. Meyer's 5-1 in the 6 meetings. However, Meyer has lost 3 straight matches on clay, lost to Jaziri, lost to Delian, and lost to Souza, where Vesely did just lose to Taylor Fritz, but he has been serving a lot better after dealing with some injury issues in the beginning of the year, as he lost 7-5, 7-6. Vesely is a good server. He's a solid clay court player. Meyer is a very good clay court player as well. The over is at roughly 40.5. I'd lean to the over there. If you want a little bit of a more valuable bet just for value alone, I'd recommend taking that at 5 sets if that is available to you, as I think that will go 5 sets. They actually played each other in Roland Garros back in 2015, and that ended up going 5 sets with a Leonardo Meyer win. These players play each other tough, and I think that it will be a very tough match. I actually think that Vesely will win because Meyer is currently dealing with a very poor form, and Vesely has looked pretty solid lately. So I personally lean to Vesely there at a small underdog price, and I would also lean to the over in that match. And if you really want to be bold here, you could take Vesely winning in 5 sets, and I will pull that up for you now, as that is available on Bovada. But in terms of that game here, if you take Vesely winning 3-2, that actually pays out at plus 550. So there's a ton of value there if you want to potentially take a stab at some value for maybe like a quarter unit, give or take. But overall, looking at the rest of the card here, I I think that I like the Gulbis and Ruud. I think it's going to go at least 4 sets here. Ruud did just lose to Del Potro, but he did beat Kyrgios. Kyrgios retired, but he did look good, and he beat Daniel Evans in 3 sets as he also qualified for Rome. That was actually Casper Ruud, but for Gulbis, he's a very unstable player, but he's very solid on clay, typically. And Ruud is a good player, but I don't think he's very dynamic. Assuming Gulbis does not completely self-destruct, I would not be surprised to see this go to potentially 4 sets or more. Totals at 37 there. I'd lean to the over. If you actually want some extra value, I'd lean to Casper Ruud over 20.5 games, which is available at plus 100 on 5 dimes, as I think there will be at least one tiebreaker. I do think Gulbis will win a set, and I think that Ruud will win that match, but I think Gulbis will put up a run for Ruud's money. But in terms of some of the other matches, as I'm looking through the card, I don't really have many thoughts on some of the other matches. I think there is value on Jaziri as an underdog, as a small underdog. Ott is a lucky loser. He ended up losing to Garcia Lopez in 3 sets. Where Jaziri, I'm not a big fan of his style of play because he doesn't bring much firepower to the table, but he did just beat Nicholas Jarry in 3 sets. He beat Leonardo Meyer in 2 sets, and he ended up losing to David Goffin in 3 sets in clay, roughly on May 3rd. So he hasn't played in a couple weeks, but his form at that point has been solid on clay, and I simply just don't think that Ott should be a favorite in this match. So I would lean to Jaziri as a small money line favorite. If any of you have any matches, just a reminder, you can reach out to me right now. But if nobody has anything else to say, I think that I will start concluding today's video. So our play of the day is going to be on Humbert moneyline as he takes on Popyrin at minus 111 on Pinnacle. The Tsitsipas thing, don't worry about it. Yep, Lang, I said the Tsitsipas match under 29. I like it also. That's not going to be one of my plays of the day, though. I thought the Bovada messed up one of their set spreads there, but I've already talked about Tsitsipas under 29, and that was actually one of my main leans on today's card. But my favorite play is going to be on Humbert, minus 111 at Pinnacle. With that being said, I will be doing the French Open bracket breakdown video right after this, so stay tuned for that one. Before we conclude the video, just a quick reminder of our sponsor at PointsBet, as they are a new online sportsbook in New Jersey. They have a lot of great deals, up to 2 risk-free bets of up to $1,000. So if you end up betting on some tennis underdog, if you want to take a stab, for example, with a prop bet for plus 400 on a set wager or whatever, and you lose, you get your money back. So it gives you an opportunity to potentially triple or quadruple your money with no risk, which I definitely think is a very good promo for any book to have. And it's a shame I'm not in New Jersey, because I definitely would have been using this book as of this moment. But I'm not. It is what it is. But in other news, I'm actually going to Vegas on Sunday, and I will be there until roughly Thursday morning. So I will still be uploading usual content. I might have a different background, and hopefully we'll be able to catch some tennis plays together. But the play that we are going with is on Humbert moneyline at minus 111 on Pinnacle. And with that being said, that's going to do it for this installment of Scott's tennis selections here for Sunday, May 26th. And good luck to all of you, and I hope all of you have a very profitable French Open. Bye, everyone.